There we go. So it's Christmas morning. Merry Christmas. The days are now growing longer, and we have lots of snow. Adding to the light because the snowflakes reflect the light. So lift in your spine and just absorb all the light coming in. We have Jupiter and Saturn together in the sky, creating the Star of Bethlehem for this Christmas morning, this Christmas week, actually. So just taking a nice, fresh breath of air and let go of anything you want to let go of. Let a blanket of relaxation fall around you and come to focus on your breath, the rhythm and pattern of your breath. Now, in your mind's eye, with Jupiter and Saturn creating the Star of Bethlehem, just imagine that in your mind's eye, seeing the Star of Bethlehem, the Christmas star, whatever you want to call it, allowing that light to shine down on you, bringing the energy of the conjunction Jupiter expansion and Saturn working hard, but also Saturn, when you've done the work, Saturn is the planet that rewards you. But they're in Aquarius, the energy of innovation and inspiration, nurturance. Check around your body, see how it feels this morning. And then just bring palms in together. We'll affirm absorbing and reflecting the light, just like the snowflakes. We'll shine our light, sharing it with our own personal flavor of compassion and love, creativity and inspiration. And we'll breathe all that in. So just lift arms overhead and reach. Full breath and a long exhale out. Excuse me. And just a few more times around. And one last round. And just bring your palms back together. And imagining the Star of Bethlehem in your mind's eye. Once again, your third eye in your forehead. And just draw it down into your heart center, your sternum. And you can keep it there infinitely. And then release your palms. Let your legs out. Shake them out. Wake them up. Circle around with your feet. Reverse. And sitting tall, flex your feet and press the back of your legs against the mat. Draw your shoulder blades down, press your palms against the mat in Dandasana. Reach up through your crown. And then just bring your feet in and come onto the sole, or I'm sorry, the balls of your feet. I just realized I always have a little snowman. This little guy was my mother's when she was alive. So I've always kept it as a reminder of her. And I place it across the keyboard on my laptop because my kitties get up there and then everything gets ski jawed on the screen. So I'm going to put little snowman there. Whoops. Um, my mother had Alzheimer's. She passed in 2012. But when she received this little snowman, I asked her what she was going to name it. And she said, Flow Snake. She couldn't remember the word snowflake. So she said, Flow Snake. So this is Flow Snake right next to my lantern snowman. So we have Christmas snow person here. All right. So just come back on the back end of your mat and breathe, arms up overhead and reach. Press through the soles of your feet. Press into the earth. Reach for the stars. Breathe. And then bring your body just in line, taking a breath. Separate your feet hip width. And then exhale and bend your knees into chair pose. Draw your core muscles in. Activate your core, strengthening it. And then bring your arms so they're parallel to the floor. I'll turn sideways in case somebody's watching the recording and need a little help. So we're going to lower down into chair. We start with a straight back, and then we reach the hips back and the fingertips forward and lower down even more. So we warm up our bodies by utilizing the largest muscle group in the body, the quadriceps. Lower down. And if you feel ambitious, you can lower down all the way into a deep knee bend. And we'll come back into chair pose. Just breathe. Press your heels down, lift up, reach up through your fingertips. Engage your hips and thighs and go to the back. Extend, elongate your spine, opening the heart center, letting all those sparkles out into the world. And a swan dive coming down. Exhale. And you can bend and straighten your knees, just loosening up your hamstrings and hips. And then separate your feet and come down into a squat. We'll open the hip joints, just loosening the groin and the psoas muscles. IT band a little bit here. And then come into center for Malasana and stretch up tall through your crown. Now bring your fingertips or your hands to the floor and just come over onto one leg, stretch out the other leg, flex the foot, and then lean forward, stretching the inner thigh. You can give it a little massage, a little rub down if you want, loosening and warming. And bring that leg in. Go to the other side. Give it a little rub down and lean forward. And come back in. All right, now I bring up my sleeves because we're going to go into crow, or at least approach crow. So we want our palms on the floor, spread the fingers wide, press down on the inner side of the knuckles, lift your hips and bring your knees right up under your armpits. Lean forward, lift your chin to help you balance, and then just lift your toes off the floor. It's a little slippery. And then let your feet back down. Come down onto your feet and circle around in your wrists. And fingers. Squeeze in and out. Okay, so that was kind of a warm-up crow. Something to crow about. So we're going to go back in. I'm going to see if you notice something here. So you lift up onto the balls of your feet and place your knees right at the top of your arm, right up into your armpit. Lean forward and lift your toes. Lift your chin
Breathe. Activate your core. Hold and release. Okay. The thing I wanted you to notice was the core. Okay. All right. So let's lift up into a nice stretch, head to knee. And then soften the knees and lift back up into chair pose. Reach. All right. Now just step your right leg forward, bend that knee, and slide your other leg back. Feet are hip width apart. So just bring the knee in and out a few times to loosen in the psoas muscles. Lift the heart. Bring the palms in for a prayer twist. A prayer of gratitude for our bodies and the way they function, working for us and with us. And come back to center. Press back up into warrior one. And we'll pivot into warrior two. So open to the side, align and open out. Open the knee, open the hips, and gaze over the fingertips. And reverse warrior. Nice side stretch. Pull up out of the hip, mindful of the front knee. And back to warrior two. And palms up. Just pivot into warrior one. And pull back, inhale, step it in, palms together. Turn down the heat here. All right. Just feel the sensations in your legs and maybe even in your core. And let's check out shoulders. Circle around. You can release your hands here. Just circle around. Reverse. Bring your arms around to the back. Interlace fingers. Open the shoulders. Bring your arms away from your body. Just lift. Now we'll fold forward, take in your breath, and exhale, hinge forward in your body, head to knee. Now, keep the knees straight this time, but lengthen out through your crown. Lift your arms, your hands, press through your feet. Lift up using the strength of your legs. And then release. All right. Bringing arms up overhead. Take in your breath. And soften your knees. Take the right leg back into warrior one.
And bring palms together over your heart for your prayer twist in gratitude for this body, for the light that shines through it. And then come back to center and reach up and pivot into warrior two. Just get aligned. If you need a couple of vinyasas just to loosen up. Open the hips, the shoulders, and reverse warrior. Pull back. And back into warrior two. Turn the palms up and pivot back into warrior one. And just reach for the floor and step back for your downward facing dog. Stretching your heels down, tilt your hips up for a yummy stretch on the backs of your legs. Now we'll come forward into up dog, but just keep the balls of your feet on the floor because we're going to start to swing here. But let your body come into an arch. Engage your hips to protect your low back. Lift your chin. Open shoulders. And draw your heels towards the floor into down dog. Now we'll start to swing. Up dog. Down dog. Up dog. Down dog. Now optional, you can speed it up. Swing. And hold your down dog. And come into your up dog. Tops of the feet. Engage legs. Now let your knees down. You may need to pull back a little bit, but bend your elbows and bring the pubic triangle onto the floor into cobra. Breathe. And pull back into child's pose. And if you need to circle around in your wrists or a counter pose stretch for your wrists, then listen to any sensations you're getting. And then finally come down into child's pose. Bend your elbows so that your shoulders can relax. Breathe. Now bring your palms by your knees. And lift up.
Now, a little bit more arching for the back. The poses where we're arching in the back are grounding. And I think it's an excellent time to work on a little grounding. So just lift up onto your knees. If your knees are a little tender or sensitive, you can roll your mat and make a pillow for your knees. Just give you a little more softness there. So bring your palms onto the low back behind you, fingertips down. Bring the elbows a little closer, lift the heart. You can turn the toes under. So from the side, it's going to look like this. Toes under, palms on your back. Then lift in your sternum, lift your chin, bring shoulder blades and elbows closer together, and engage your hips as you lean back, arching your back, and then lean over your heels. Lean back, feel the stretch along the front side of your body. Just relax back. Press down in your knees and roll up. We're going to go back again. I'm going to turn sideways for this one for demonstration purposes. So lift elbows together, lift your heart, your chin, engage hips, arch, lean back, and you can reach with one hand to your heel, or if you're able this morning, both hands on your heels, press the hips forward, but lengthen in your spine, elongate, relax your head into camel. And if that feels good and you want to lower the tops of your feet down and bring your palms onto your soles. Two ways to come out. You can reach forward with one arm, like reaching for an invisible rope, or you can just bring your hips down onto your heels and roll forward into a stretch. In child's pose. And let your sacrum open and stretch. And now bring your palms next to your knees and press up. And we'll come into a twist. Just come over onto one hip. And the outside leg, the furthest leg, just bring it around. Bring the foot above your thigh and move the bent knee out so that you can bring your sitting bones down. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Reach up through your crown. You may feel a stretch in the glutes here. Just see how it is for you. And then
wrapping the opposite arm around the bent knee. Scoop through the free arm, reach up and open to the side. And then bring your arm down behind you. Look over your shoulder. Squeeze out any tension in your spine. Wring it out like a wash rag in the shower or a sponge. Now press down in your sitting bones, bringing the weight back onto them, and lift your arm back up to your ear. You're still facing the side. And then rotate around. Ah. Now stretch your legs out, bend your knees the other way, come on to the other hip, bring that leg around. I'll reverse this side so it's easier to recognize. Make room for that hip bone to come down by sliding your heel away. Bring the knee in closer and closer, however it will come. Now, the knee that's up in front of you, wrap the opposite arm around or hold on with that palm, and the free arm, scoop it up, reach up tall, deep breath, open to the side, and then lower your arm down for your twist. You want your palm close to your back so that you can use that arm as a backrest. Use your arms to pull you into your twist. All right. Make sure the weight is on both sitting bones and bring your free arm, your back arm back up to your ear and then unwind, facing forward and unfold your legs. Just stretch them out. Bring your palms back and just roll your hips side to side. All right, separate your feet 12 to 18 inches. Roll your hips under and roll down onto your back. You can use your arms if you need to. If not, just use your core muscles. And breathe your arms up overhead. Just a simple breath, lifting arms back to the floor. Breathe them up and down to your sides. And breathe them up overhead. Draw your low back down against the mat. Stretch the back of your neck out for a moment. Now this time, soften your elbows. Keep the shoulders open and start bringing your angel wings down. arms beside you so that your shoulder blades are rolled under, your hips are rolled under, and start to relax. Coming into corpse pose, Shavasana, sinking down against the earth. Remember the star, the Christmas star, or the Star of Bethlehem in your heart center. Just become aware of it, shining and sparkling right there in your heart. Vibrating a high frequency out into the cosmos with a blanket of light over all the earth and everyone and everything on it and in it. Let those sparkles and that shining light stream out into your body, making all your cells shine. And start now to come back to awareness of the sounds in the room, sounds in the distance. Feel your heartbeat and your breathing. Imagine all those sparkles floating out into space, increasing the light on the earth, the light within you. And just start to stretch and yawn and wake yourself up, coming back to move on to whatever festivities you have planned, sharing love with family and friends, and your four-leggeds as well. Just slide your feet together, lift your knees up to your chest. And then roll on up into sitting. Bring your hands into your favorite mudra. Once again, become aware of your breath. You notice a difference from when we started today. And having sealed in the benefits and our visuals with a mudra, just bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. And may all that you give, all that you serve, return to you a thousandfold. May the sparkles remain. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And namaste.
Thank you.